It starts as
record. Yeah, when it says record, then you go. If it's not on record, it's not record.
Let's take few clips of them while we are joking.
Yeah. Just spin it around, and that's basically it. Yeah, round and up and down.
When you want to zoom,
You want to zoom.
I want to zoom a person. I want to zoom car. Let's zoom car.
Zoom.
This guy.
There you go. Just zoom in. There you go. So you zoom here. There you go. It comes out nice after you've done it when you zoom. There you go.
I zoom this woman's ass. Ruler. I wanted that young man.
Whenever you got it, the important thing is the record.
So where do I stop it? Same
But you don't have to stop it. You've got a lot of space, 16 gigs.
So don't you think let's capture in this moment?
Capture this moment as well, but go back to out of zoom so that everything can come out. Then you can zoom whenever.
Just like that. Okay.
Yeah, thank you, man of God.
I'll be busy now as well.
Is it? Okay, so we'll interchange.
We'll interchange, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Now that's cool. That's cool. I'll be happy to be a part. I'll take at this moment, you know, try go to that
You're already recording?
Yeah?
Smile for the camera. Was still up? No, it's good. Yeah,
Obrigada, você tem, na from the president. Vou só sair lá dentro, vai sair lá dentro. É bodyguard. And I was
that's the video that we sent in the beginning. So I edited it. It's only the video, so don't worry. That's only the pieces. The whole video I put it in. That's only the pieces. Don't worry. You gave everyone a Friday. You can play Mark's song. That's for me.
This is premium water, this is mineral water.
Mario, don't go to it. Yeah, don't go to it. Huh? You know the weave or something. The president didn't go from here. 1, 2, 3, 4 minutes.
We don't have a space. We don't have a space.
1, 2, I don't even know. 1, 2, 3, 4.
We don't have a space. Let's sit here.
No. Good afternoon, colleagues. How are you? We are doing fine. Quite nervous. What are the team leaders? Where are team leaders? Can I request that all the team leaders at the back at least come and fill these seats? And then you guys from there, please fill these seats. Yeah. Move forward. Okay, colleagues, welcome to the NCC formal presentations. I hope we are ready. I think we're given enough time to prepare ourselves. It's fine. You can't lie honest. Okay, no, it's fine. But nonetheless, I think you have noticed that this environment, there is no certainty. You do this, the next minute you are doing something else. So it's a matter of us adapting to that. Yeah. So basically, we'll start with our program. I'll start by calling 3 speakers on stage to speak on the 8 pillars of the party. I think there is a culture that we are trying to inculcate, because once we absorb these pillars, we'll be able to live them out. And I think we can only achieve our cause only if we are living guided by these pillars. Okay. So I'm gonna call the first speaker. Allow me to call you Mr. Nkondo, to call you a young man today. So this young man will come and speak on dedication to the cause. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Tato Nkondo. You have 5 minutes, huh?
Good day, fellow agents. My name is Tato Jacob Nkondo, and I've been tasked with speaking about a pillar that I can relate to, one that speaks about why I am the way I am and why I do the things I do. So basically, I'm going to be talking about dedication to the cause. Now, this raises the question then to say, what wakes you up in the morning when you think about coming to the NCC? What drives you to actually say, I will wake up the next morning, I will actually go the next day, even after we've had a frustrating day before? What makes you decide that, you know what, even if the challenges arise, I will rise above them and continue to make sure that I accomplish whatsoever is required of me? That's what I want to speak to. Dedication to the cause, summed up in a quote: there's rarely no limits as to how far one can go when dedicated. There's so much that one can accomplish, so much that one can do. So there's great heights that one can reach because of dedication. Because you tell yourself that you want to do something, not because you have to. but because you want to. There's willingness to do so. It is said that it is almost impossible to achieve any course of action without any form of dedication. After all, achievement is impossible without dedication. This talks to committing yourself to something, this talks to being committed to something, being devoted through unfailing and unconditional passion and willingness to a task or a purpose. We are dedicated to a cause because we believe in what it represents, in its purpose of existence, and how we become more than what and who we are through it. Dedication to the cause is not achieved or believed through saying it. It is believed in when seen, implemented, and sought to be accomplished without the need to be rewarded or publicly seen. We don't do what we do passionately because we want to be noticed. We do it because it is who we are and because our personal strive and commitment serves to aid the cause of our ambition. Dedicate yourself not only to a cause, but some of your life to other people. Your devotion will not be a sacrifice, but rather an exhilarating experience because it is an intense effort applied towards a meaningful end. It is what you do next that counts. Stop doubting yourself. Work hard. Give yourself to something and make it happen. I believe that is why we wake up every morning to come and serve the DA. Because we believe that it is dedicated to bringing about an open opportunity society for all in South Africa. We understand the DA's strategic objectives and we hope to achieve its strategy. And though sometimes we may not agree, but we relate to it and to every decision of the DA, whether it will advance or retard the cause. So ladies and gentlemen, I say to you, there's no limits as to how far you can go when you are dedicated to a cause. Thank you very much.
Wow. Can we give him another round of applause? So basically, in a nutshell, what he's saying is that dedication to the cause is a commitment that all of us we need to take. And commitment is a decision that you take consciously. It's not, you don't take decisions influenced by emotions or feelings. So as soon as we realize that, I believe, ladies and gentlemen, we'll achieve what we're here to achieve. Big up to you, young man. Thank you so much. The second speaker will speak on the will to win. Again, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to call this young man. All the guys, I'll call you young men today. And for the ladies, I'll call you young what? Young ladies. Okay. So allow me to call this young man to speak on the will to win. Quincy, please come up. You see that?
Isitsha se-collection sizoqala ku-right wami siphume ngaku-left. Ama-coin, ama-asset namhlanje. Siyazi ukuthi kuphakathi kwenyanga abazalwane kodwa umfundisi kumele adlile. Colleagues, after what Tato has said, I feel like I have nothing to say. However, I'm here to speak on the will to win. Now, I prepared something for you here. At the end, I'll read a poem, but let's save that for the end. Okay. With the will to win, what's important, it's not the will to win, but it is the will to prepare to win. Now, you need to have a few elements for you in order to have the will to win. What are these elements?
Hallelujah.
So one of the elements here is bravery. Be brave enough to challenge your fears that have blocked you all along from winning. Amen, Pastor Lord.
Amen. Hallelujah.
So the second element that you need to have would be commitment. Stay committed to winning. Even when it seems easy to quit, keep trying. Never give up. Just keep going. Stay committed.
Amen.
Pastor Lord.
Hallelujah.
So the other element here, believe me when I say it's not limited to these elements, but these are just some of the elements that I have identified. So the other element would be learning. Constantly challenge yourself to learn. Okay. Constantly challenge yourself to learn new things aligned to your goal. After all, we score goals to win, isn't it? Salwa.
Amen. Amen. Amen.
Mama was says no so the last thing that I need to speak on would be clear vision. Now, know what is it that you want to win at, or else you will end up gaining a lot of losses. Okay, on this one, guys, like, I really need to repeat. Clear vision. Know what it is that you want to win at, or else you will end up gaining a lot of losses. If your vision is not clear, believe me, you will think you're winning because you'll be doing a lot of hard work that will take you nowhere. And you'll be getting something, but it's not taking you to your goal. Now guys, if you have all these elements, there's something that Mr. Ngana said, he said, he will make the NCC uncomfortable. Now if you have all these elements, it means you are now willing to win. And you will understand what he meant when he said he will make the NCC uncomfortable. These elements should make you uncomfortable. You should want to win. These elements, they will push you to that. In the NCC, be driven by a competitive spirit to succeed and do what is necessary to achieve growth and meet strategic objectives. Bazalwane.
Amen.
Bandla umfundisi ijulukile bapha bomama. Sulampe.
Hallelujah.
Okay, guys, that is what I prepared for you. So I'm just gonna briefly read a poem which was written by Baton Brady. Okay, it goes like, the will to win. If we want a thing enough, if you want a thing bad enough to go out and fight for it, work day and night for it, give up your time and your peace and your sleep for it. If only desire of it makes you quite mad enough, never to tire of it, makes you hold all things tawdry and cheap for it. If life seems all empty and useless without it, and all it you scheme and you dream is about it. If gladly you sweat for it, fret for it, plan for it, lose all your terror of God or man for it. If you'll simply go after that thing that you want with all your capacity, strength, and sagacity. Don't ask me. It's English. Strength and sagacity, I had to repeat. Faith, hope, and confidence. Stand tenacity. Don't ask me. If neither cold poverty, famished and gaunt, nor sickness, nor pain of body or brain can turn you away from the thing that you want. If dodged and gleamed by besiege and beset, you will get it. In all, that is what I have prepared for you.
Hallelujah.
Another round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Wow, did you capture those bombastic words there? He will explain after this. But thank you, bro, for those words. I think there is a need also to leave out this particular pillar, because remember, you have targets at the end of the day to reach. So if you have goals, it means you must be determined to win. You must have it within you to win. There was once a saying that the difference between human beings and animals is that animals are driven by instincts, but human beings are driven by will. So for a cow to jump, it does not think about it. It just jumps. But when you are to jump, you need to think, why do I need to jump? So you are driven by will, not by instincts. Okay. Let's welcome the third speaker to speak on people with complete ownership of their jobs. Let's welcome Mr. Pagamani Shezi, a married young man. Do you have your wife here, bro? Can she stand up? Wait, I have to ask this. Is Mrs. Shezi here?
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Paramount Shays. These two guys must bump for really pressure. Prepare codes. Well, here I'm going to talk about people with complete ownership of their jobs. I think firstly, when you wake up in the morning and you have a job, the first thing that you must develop, I think, is passion. If you have a passion for your job, the gear number 2 that you're going to put is to produce results. And if you can produce those results, then you go to gear number 3. You'll be able to solve problems easily, because you will have a confidence. You're not going to depend on someone to solve problems for you. And once you can solve your own problems on your own, the next step that you'll go to, which is number 4, you will display positive attitude. Because already you have already achieved results, and simply on your own, you will display the positive attitude. No one is going to come after you and push you to do your best. And lastly, if you can solve problems on your own and achieve results and display positive attitude, you can have accountability. No one, even if you make mistake, you will know that I made mistake and account to all the mistakes that you have done. And that is all I've prepared for you, ladies and gentlemen.
Mr. Pagamani Shays, another round of applause. I hope we have taken note of those gears. Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, we can go far with those gears. Thanks a lot, sir. I am now going to invite on stage the Liberation Movement.
Are you not speaking?
Mr. Yana, did you give the teams this?
Yes, I did.
Oh, so you'll be guided by this, ne? Yeah. So the Liberation Movement. Come, after the Liberation Movement, we'll go to another team.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Liberation Movement's Campaign Launch. We thank you all for joining us, the guests and the media. With us today is His Excellency, our incoming President, Honorable Premier, Ministers, and all protocols observed. I now present our chairperson to briefly explain the history of our political party.
Sanibonani. Njani. Saphila. Sibonge ithuba. Igama nguPhumlane, the chairperson of the Liberation Movement.
Yes, sir.
I'm here to share with you the short history that we have in the South African politics. It goes like this. The party was formed on the 10th of December in 2016 by a group of liberals who believe in the idea that a nation can only be truly successful if liberty, equality, and justice is present. A nation where all who live in it are afforded equal opportunities, regardless of their color of their skin, gender, or religion. The founding members of the party are our current president, Mr. Floyd Zuza, our deputy president, Mr. Loazi Zigalala, and our federal chairperson, Mr. Phumlane Ngobo, which is me. And we have our secretary, Mr. Kamo Mohlala. The party was formed after the founders were expelled from the Democratic Alliance for standing out against white privilege, racism, and the abuse of human rights. The party is center-left and believes in working within the established systems to improve social justice. We promote a degree of social equality that is achievable through promoting equal opportunities. We have liberal values and we embrace individual brilliance. Our first elections that we contested was in the Matsimahulu by-election, where we managed to get 3 seats in council. And in the Ngotu by-election, we elected 2 councillors there. And the 2019 national elections will be our first elections that we will be contesting nationally, with our incoming president, Mr. Floyd, and the Premier of KwaZulu-Natal, who will be coming after those elections, Ms. Kaklevo. Sorry about it. Yes, that is our history. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. And now it's the head of marketing, campaign, radio ad, Sia. Thank you, Sia. Thank you.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Siyabonga and I'm the campaigns manager for NF, marketing campaigns manager. Well, if I may ask our video DJ to please put up our posters, please. I will leave with the logo. That's your logo. Well,
Ladies and gentlemen, this is our liberal movement logo. Sorry. Okay, this is our liberal movement logo, which is a liberal torch. And then this liberal torch simply means that we work not only just for the political party, but we also work mostly for the people, whereby that liberty logo simply means being free within society from oppressive restriction imposed by authority on one's behavior. And the torch symbol is the birthright, opportunity, entitlement, the privileges, and the dispensations. And then, can we please go to our premier? Okay, sorry. Can we please go to our radio ad, please?
Should I just play it?
Please.
Fellow South Africans, for far too long our beloved Mzansi has been downgraded, neglected, and robbed of its status and what it really stood for. The time is now to redress all that and put us back to the prestigious, progressive, and prosperous stage and status we so deserve. Play your part, advocate for this change, and vote for justice, equality, liberty, and vote for the liberation movement. We are the change you want to see. Hariye.
And that was our radio specialist. That's Percy. And that radio ad, it had to be simple, because we had to be precise with what we want. We had to be precise where we want to go, and for me, that is very touching. And you can also feel the voice. It's okay, no. This is honest.
Yes, boy.
And can we please have our TV ad on the screen, please?
We will make sure that we deliver better and efficient services to the people.
engizovotela mina iqembu elizopha ingane zami imfundo
making sure that all processes of redress are thoroughly administrated and implemented.
Africa Bora, Ariye. Be the advocates of change that you want to see.
Vote liberation.
That's our TV ad where we have our ministers, fellow South Africans who really want to see the change that they deserve. And then I'd like to go to my premier's poster, which this lady, guys, is determined to give what people are supposed to be getting. And then this is our lovely premier candidate of KwaZulu Natal, who is Katlego. Yes, Katlego. And then, guys, this poster is of ours, whereby it's also the same as the presidential poster. We've got background colors which it's supposed to be gold. I don't know if you can see, but it's gold, where at the bottom it's shaded dark, where we are moving from the darkness that we are right now, going all the way to the gold, which is almost nothing. And then we have also our logo, where it will always be in every corner of South Africa. And we do have our values, which are liberty, equality, and justice, which only mean simplest thing, which is all the way with honesty, all the way with liberty for the people, and justice will be taken even if our premier is not capable of doing anything right. And then we do have our hashtag, which is our campaign slogan, Arieng, which it simply means let's move from this uncomfortable stability that we're at right now. Let's move on to a brighter future, a brighter South Africa, not just for certain people who are in premier positions, who are in presidential positions, but first people that supposed to be singing the Arieng are the most people who are not fortunate. And then, because time. And then can I just quickly have my presidential post, which is the president of the LM. This is our presidential candidate, Mr. Floyd Nzuza, who is highly pushing the slogan Arieng. Because without the voters, without anyone in this room, that slogan is impossible. So I believe that South Africa will take that slogan and put it into motion. Guys, thank you very much, and Secretary, thank you.
Thank you very much, Sia. Ladies and gentlemen, can we please applaud him for the last time? Okay, so now I will call our secretary to launch our campaign. Thank you, Kamagelo.
Thank you, Honorable Spokesperson, for this opportunity. And thank you, guests, for coming today as we launch our campaign. The 2019 elections are upon us. As the liberation movement would like to say, as South Africans, we are ready to grow. The liberation movement is the only party that is ready to govern, and we recognize the injustices in our society today, the killings of women in our society by men who are supposed to protect and love them. The injustices that are done to our lesbians, gays, transgender, bisexual communities, for shaming them, hating, and corrective rape because of homophobic society. The inequality of education system that is low, and the land redistribution. The liberation movement seek to address the injustices to create safe, stable, and equal society that will give all citizens the right to flourish, even to grow to become, with all deserve granted to them. Our values and principles are very clear, guests. We advocate for a better South Africa for all South Africans, regardless of their color, of their skin, choice of their religion or gender, as the chairperson said. Liberty, equality, and justice for all citizens of the profound nation built on the basis of democracy. So I'm going to explain each of them, starting with liberty. We believe that every citizen of South Africa should be entitled to his or her own idea and beliefs without being restricted or oppressed by the government. On equality, we believe that all men are born equal and that all South Africans should be afforded equal opportunities and the rights. This is clear in our constitution and is as old as the scriptures. On justice, fairness should be afforded to all because all of us are equal in the eyes of the law. We strive to create a just society for all. Our core office is in service delivery. The liberation movement, once in power, will ensure that all processes of redress are thoroughly administrated and implemented. The Constitution and its stance on land reform should be protected and prevent the political parties which want to impose non-democratic ideas on this matter. E.g., land expropriation without compensation would have negative implication in South Africa in terms of the internal relation with would be economical disaster. And then I'd like to invite here with me the Honorable Incoming President to come and deliberate more on this offers that we have for you guys. Mr. Floyd, can you please join me on the podium?
I certainly thank you for this amazing introduction. I think when it comes to land, I think the way you put it on was pretty amazing. But I would like to talk more about education because there seems to be a problem with regards to providing education for all, and I think that that is not possible. But there is a possibility in free education. We will equip students who are not academically capable with useful skills that will help them after high school. This means that new subjects or modules will be introduced in high school. Such modules will include plumbing, free driving lessons, widely implemented in all schools from grade 11 to grade 12, agriculture, degree introductory modules, carpenting, and other technical subjects such as painting, car mechanics, etc. Now, free education for the deserving. The criteria for the deserving being students who pass with a minimum of 60% will be able to pursue law studies. And students who pass with 55% will be paid for in B.Ed degrees. And students who want to pursue engineering and science degrees, they will have to reach a minimum of 70% to be funded by the state. But there's another criteria. And that criteria takes into consideration affordability of tertiary education by the parents of the students. After doing some researches, we have came to a conclusion that the government should offer 10% of fees to families with a net income between 150,000 to 210,000 per annum. And to families who earn less than 150,000 rands per annum will be afforded then, if they meet the academic criteria, 100% of fee exemption. You must understand, first and foremost, that not everybody is equipped for university and not everybody is destined for university. Which is why I have spoken to my minister, incoming Minister of Education, and I sat down with her. I said, don't give me science. Don't. I should go to science, science. And I'm messing up define. Ukuthi science is knowledge obtained, critically tested, and experimented, and brought under one observation. And there was a question again with my incoming minister of finance. Uthi kumina lo mfowethu hayi izophuma apha le mali. Ngithi hey mna I will find money. And so I went to my incoming minister of incoming minister of public enterprise, and I said, which enterprises can we cut? First one was SAA. In 2017, SAA had an income of 30.7 billion and was running at a total loss of, listen carefully, 2 billion and 760 million. And they had a loss again of 5 billion 431 million. Total loss of SAA alone for 2017 was 8 billion. It's what we were losing every 2 years with SAA. The same amount of money we could be putting in SMEs. The same amount of money we could be putting in education. SAA already has assets worth 16 million. And if we add that to the remainder of income after deducting losses, which is 22.5 billion, we realize that the cost of selling SAA would be 22.5 billion. I think that is better than losing 8 billion a year. And that money should go to education. Njengoba ngishilo, ngoba ngizophinda futhi ukuthi this was science which was critically tested and experimented and brought under one observation. I thank you all.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you very much. Let's give him again another round. So it's clear that today the Liberation Movement is gathered to launch our campaign for the 2019 elections. So ladies and gentlemen, welcome our candidate president again, Floyd Nzuza. Oh, our premier, I'm sorry about that.
Okay.
Our premier candidate, yes, it's our president. Guys, what is it? Okay, and the president's proposed cabinet, Minister of Education, Muradi Nechidama. Our Finance Minister, Nkululeko. Our Home Affairs Minister, Kagamani Shezi. And our Public Enterprise Minister, Sikle Mulabati. Okay, so our premier candidate, Nkululeko, will be giving us a speech of 2 minutes. Please take your time, ma'am. 1 minute. 1,
2. I stand here, Nkululeko, as the Liberation Movement's premier candidate of KwaZulu-Natal. I stand here as a person very passionate about South Africa and of the key issues that hinder this beautiful province of KZN. Political killings, femicide in the LGBTQ community. I stand here deeply concerned